Hi guys, it's Kelly Latavola here, and I'm back again with another video for Honeybee Stamps. Today we are using the My Hero stamp set and then the coordinating dies. I'm a huge fan of making like card sets or several cards in the same fashion, especially if you need a bunch, but I also get bored very easily, so I like to mix up the colors of the backgrounds, and so I'm using distress ink, 2 colors of distress ink for every card that I am making today, and I'm just going to blend on, starting with the lighter color to, I don't know, about 3/4 of the way up so that it blends into white, and then I will add the darker color underneath that. These are super simple. You could totally do it with 1 color. I just like the depth that it gives of using 2. You could definitely simplify these so that it didn't take as long. But as you know, I make scene cards, so the length of card making does not typically bother me. So I really love this set. I actually made these cards quite some time ago. I just have not gone around to doing the voiceover. Super big fan of this set just because we all have different heroes for different things, and I really feel like you could apply this to like Mother's Day or Father's Day, or just as a thank you for the people in your community, or maybe these people are members of your family. And I just really love the way that it incorporates all of the people in our community who are doing things. So there are dog tags in there. There's like little books with a little apple, a stethoscope, a badge, and then like the little paramedic cross. So if you wanted to, you and your kids could sit down and make these and drop them off at a police station or a fire station or a local hospital, since we still are very much in the middle of the whole COVID-19. I'm sure that they would appreciate any thank yous you wanted to send their way. In more traditional times, obviously, I'm sure that they would appreciate a thank you anytime. Our military always. And then, if you had a nurse that you loved, or, like I said, if you're somebody in your family is, in the healthcare field, would absolutely apply. So I just like how all-encompassing it is, really. Also, before we get into like any sort of like real story time or whatever, the last video that I posted, I did tell you guys we were waiting for the results of Eric's test, which did come back negative. Thank you, Jesus. Such a huge stress reliever. And so we were about 3 days away from the 2 weeks being over. So I did get to see Peanut a little early, which made me very, very happy. Made Eric happy. We both super missed him while he was gone. So yeah, so super glad that that is done and over with, and we are out of the woods, at least for now, until, hopefully there won't be a next time. But yeah, so that's where we're at on that. As far as these cards go, I just kind of picked the color based on, I guess, things that are more traditional, like blue for police, red for fire, the olive green, navy, why, Kelly, why, the olive green for the military, and then for the other 2 cards, the purple and the teal, I just kind of picked them to round out the entirety of the color collection. So here I am going to, just to make the backgrounds a little bit more interesting, and once again, you could totally skip this step to make these a little bit easier to do. I'm going to splatter the background with some Perfect Pearls and the color Perfect Pearls, just because I really like the way that breaks up my background, and it's a super easy way to add some extra shine, and I'm always so all about the shine. The only thing I will comment about that is if you are going to be sending like a thank you card or miss you card or you're my hero card to somebody in the military who is active duty, that's overseas, or stationed somewhere, please leave off the shine, please leave off the glitter. Those, because even though we don't intend them to, can come off of the cards and put our military members at risk. So please do not put those on those cards if you were going to be sending those. So here I'm just laying out my placement. For the most part, I made the sentiments the same, and I just swapped out the bottom portion of it, but for the teacher's one is like a whole separate sentiment. So I'm just going to pick up all of these here, and I did use the stamp, even though I'm going to stamp them separately, color them, and then die cut them out. I use them for placement for my sentiments so that I knew where everything was going to hit and I was going to have enough room for everything. And I'm just going to stamp these down in Hero Arts black ink because I'm not going to be copic coloring them. So I can use the super dark bright bold ink. Not that the other ones are playing catch up though, honestly. Like the Hero Arts intense black ink, I like the Gina K amalgam ink. Like they really are getting much, much darker. When copic coloring first started really being a thing, the only thing that was available was Memento Tuxedo Black. And it was a good ink and I used it for years, but it was not really dark black. Other than the fact that I like a bold black, we all know I like a bold black outline, Lordy mercy, I do. Other than that, there was nothing wrong with that ink. So here I'm just kind of cleaning them up so that each time I can move out the image and make sure that everything is going to line up accordingly. This is so much easier with the Misty. If you don't have a Misty, then I would just use a stamp positioner or put them on a block and stamp them old school. Blacks always work. So here I have just a clean white piece of paper. I'm just going to stamp the image on for all of them. And then here I've left that not all heroes wear capes at the top, and then just swapped out the bottom for some wear dog tags. It'll be some wear a badge, some wear scrubs, like you get the point. But yeah, just going to go through and stamp all of those. I'm showing you pretty much all of the steps because these were so simple and did come together so quickly that if I didn't show you all of these steps, we would have like a 5-minute video, which some people like, but not those people that come to my channel because y'all know that I make like 23-minute videos. So we can include story time. Speaking of story time, I don't really have anything special or spectacular that's been going on. We finally, I had been working on those end tables and Peanut had asked me to please not paint them while he was away at his dad's house. So we did get those finally finished the other day. They came out super pretty. I'm happy with them, even though I wasn't able to stain the tops and I did have to paint them just because that veneer had broken off due to the water damage. But I did, Eric, poor Eric. He just gets signed up for these things. Don't mind my top knot there, right? Just big curly top knot. He gets signed up for these things because I see these pieces on Facebook Marketplace and I see these things that I could turn them into, and it's so much cheaper. Like I really, really wanted a entertainment center, and like our house is done in the like farmhouse, chic, shabby farmhouse. It was the way the house was when we got it. And so people are like, oh, farmhouse is on its way out. Listen, I just got this house. So this farmhouse is in for quite some time. It's just going to be here for a while. You'll see at the top, I did eventually, when I was trying to stamp them each individually as I went, I was running out of room. So I just decided I was not going to do that. I was just going to stamp them all at one time. So I'm going to stamp this with the sentiment with the paramedic cross. I'm just going to move that up and then stamp them all at one time so that I can color them. Plus, it cuts down on me having to move out several pieces of paper while I'm doing the coloring. I can just kind of turn the page and you can see them all at one time. So we're just going to line that top piece back up and then move, like I said, move that little cross up and stamp them all down. This is still in the intense black ink because copic coloring, right. So Eric totally gets rooked into doing these things. I had wanted a more, I guess, farmhouse style entertainment center. They had a super pretty one when we first came and viewed the house that was kind of like a bright teal color. I didn't love the bright teal necessarily, but I thought that the way that it looked like an old school buffet, like the bottom portion of a china cabinet, and I really liked it. But looking at them to purchase one, they're like $500, y'all. Like, and that's probably like middle of the road. That's not even the most expensive ones you can get. And I do not have $500 to buy a buffet. So there was a lady on Facebook Marketplace, totally digging this Facebook Marketplace. I think Eric probably wish I was not digging it so much, but she was selling a china cabinet with the hutch and the bottom buffet for $50. Real wood, solid wood, $50. Y'all, $50. And like, I get that people just want to get rid of their things because it's taking up space in their house and they no longer need it. I totally understand that. So I asked him, hey, can I do this? And he was like, I think you're out of your mind, but yeah, we can do this if this is what you want to do, because he loves me and he's super supportive and he's awesome. So we sign up to go get the china cabinet. Thankfully, it was in the city that we also live in, so we did not have to travel very far to get it. And this family had like 3 or 4 boys there to kind of help us out and load it up. So we get there, load it all up. Now the china cabinet has like the top portion of it, the hutch portion has like wrought iron glass doors on it. But I'm not using either one of these pieces as a china cabinet. Like, I'm just not. So I was trying to figure out something I could do with the hutch. It's pretty solid. It's got really good shelving. And so I think that we're going to turn that into extra shelving in my craft room. Though Eric is a little worried about hanging it on the wall because it is so heavy. It is solid wood. So he is working on trying to finagle a way to hang it up for me, which I super appreciate. And then the bottom portion of it, I am going to turn into our entertainment center for a family room. So the way that the piece originally came is it has 3 drawers in the middle and then 2 doors on the outside. So I'm leaving the doors on. I'm going to take out 2 of the drawers, and then Eric's going to cut me shelves to put in there, so that we can put like the Apple TV and any video game consoles or things that we have there, and it can still get a signal since it won't have any glass. And then I'm going to keep the bottom drawer for remote controls and, things like that. So I'm super excited about it. I started working on it 2 days ago because it is taking up quite a bit of space in our garage. One side of our garage is pretty much just furniture at the moment. So he pulled off the doors for me, and then Nathan also helped pull off the doors, which is, super helpful. I'm glad for when he wants to be involved. He does not always want to be involved. A lot of times he'll tell me, this is boring, and then he wants to, go ride his bike or watch his tablet or what have you. So sometimes I get the help with the little one. Sometimes the little one don't want to help. I'm sure all of you with little ones can totally relate that their attention span is very, very limited. So took the doors off, sanded those holes, because I am going to cover them up. I'm not going to put the doors back on, just because you know how it is with like craft items. Everything is so many different shapes, and like I don't want to have to worry about not being able to put certain things on the shelves because then the doors won't close and I gotta leave the doors open or it looks weird or awkward. I don't want to do that, so I'm just gonna take them off. And then all of the furniture in my craft room is black, even though I don't really love black. I don't really love it. I would like it to be white, but that's not the situation I have, because when I graduated college, I think it was when I graduated college, my parents bought me an L-shaped desk, and it is metal with a glass top. And the glass top is tempered glass, and so it's got like a black border on the outside. And it's still the desk I use now, however many years later that is. It's a great desk. Love my desk. Love the L desk, because I keep my computer on one side and then I craft on the other side, and I put all of everything else in the corner, and it just stacks up till it's a absolute mess and it's falling over. And I'm really working my way up that mountaintop right now. I'm just looking at it. I'm sure I cannot be the only person who crafts like that. I mean, come on, meet me where I am, people. And so anyway, when I bought the furniture to go in my craft room from IKEA, I have like a set of rolling drawers, and then I have a dresser. I bought black because it made the most sense, because my desk was black. So this also will be painted black. I originally had the idea that in order to add some color, I would use contact paper. They have so many out there, and like Etsy has a huge ton of different ones that you can pick and choose from, and they're such pretty prints. And I think that like the wallpaper contact paper look is starting to come back in for certain things, even though for years now it's been paint, which I still prefer paint because wallpaper is a nightmare. My mama used to put wallpaper on everything, and then when she changed her mind and we all had to take the wallpaper down, we'd be standing on chairs like in the hallway with spray bottles of warm water and whatever else she put in there and spatulas, just scraping wallpaper off for days, y'all. Like, I did that in my childhood. Yes, I did. But so I was going to pop the back of it off and just paint, or just put contact paper on that and then put the back on. I'm not sure if the back will survive that. We do have another piece of like that particle board that they put on the back of furniture. If it goes bad and it breaks. So we do have a piece of that. But I looked at the Etsy contact paper and fell in love with a whole bunch of prints. But it is like once you start getting into how much I'm going to need because this hutch is so large, it is expensive. It's like, $80 a roll, and I'm going to need multiple rolls. And I'm just like, oof, I can see like cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching. It's chinging in, and I don't like it. I'm cheap chicken. So I think I'm just going to end up painting it. We will see how that goes once we can get it off. Because I'm on 12-hour shifts now, like I have like 2 or 3 days where I work in a row, and then I have 2 or 3 days off, just depends on what rotation in the schedule I'm in. And right now I'm coming up on a 3-day weekend, which I am super excited about. So I'm hoping to make some real progress with both of those projects soon. So that's pretty much the hutch right now. And then the buffet, I don't want to get into, I love the look of real wood. I really do. And they're like solid wood pieces that have such a value, such a craftsmanship. And there's a part of me that's a little bit sad to cover it up with paint, even though I know like the chalk paint fad is for real right now. Everybody's painting everything with chalk paint. And I get it because it's no prep and it sticks to anything. And I totally understand how the ease of that would be super appealing. But you lose something with painting over it. However, I do want my entertainment center buffet to be a color, because our family room currently, we have like beige carpet, and then I think it's like called sea salt walls. It's like a really pale Tiffany blue or really pale teal turquoise color. And so I would like there to be a little bit of contrast. So I was originally going to like paint it a super dark brown because we have a dark brown accent wall. And I thought, okay, well, that'll look nice. Turns out brown chalk paint isn't really a thing. Like apparently people don't want to paint anything brown. So there was like a recipe for how you can mix Annie Sloan chalk paint. I wasn't really interested in having to mix my own color. And then I found this. I told you I didn't like the bright teal that they originally had, but I did find like a more subdued, it's called Highland Blue by Rust-Oleum, that I do like. And I think that it'll be enough of a contrast for it to look pretty. And then I am going to stain the top of it, like this dark Java color. So totally excited to see how that goes. If you're interested in seeing any of those, like I'm always sharing pictures on my Instagram, which is the abbreviation for dispatcher, D as in David, ISP as in Paul, 6194. If you have an Instagram and don't follow me and are interested, I'm always sharing pictures over there of just really everything. Eric makes fun of me, tells me I do it for the gram. I just like sharing with people and having interaction. My bad. So yeah, that's that. The one section of it, like you can tell, when we picked it up, it was in their garage. So I'm thinking it was probably in their garage for quite some time. That it was just sitting out there, because you can tell on the hutch part of it, like somebody was setting a coffee mug of something on this. And it seriously affected the varnish on it. It was kind of bubbled up on both the buffet and the hutch part of it. So I stripped the top of the buffet yesterday, and it did take off most of the like discoloration. So I'm really hopeful that the stain will still work. Once we get everything sanded. Right now it's just stripped and it looks like trash, but it always does at that stage in the game. And then the hutch portion, since I am gonna paint it, I'm just gonna sand off any of that finish so it isn't raised or chipping off or anything. Yeah, I'm very excited about that. We're having the same problem. Well, not really problem. We're facing the same problem that every other parent in the free world is facing right now, which is to send them back to school or not to send them back to school. And my situation is unique because obviously there's Eric and I, but then, Nathan's dad's also in the picture. And so trying to get everybody on the same page about what we think is really very challenging. And then my heart goes out to people who don't have the option. So like my best friend, my goddaughter, she's the same age as Nathan. She hasn't been working this whole time. And because she doesn't have childcare. And she's like, I need her to, as much as I don't want to send her back to school, I need her to go back to school because I need to go back to work. And like I've seen all of these memes and stuff on Facebook about how like teachers shouldn't have to take the risk because you don't want to take care of your own children. I'm with you for like I love teachers. They have my immense support. And I cannot even imagine having to be a teacher today and what they are facing. But to call out parents for like using school as a babysitter so that they can go to work, we all do. Newsflash, we all do. Because you know that your kid from 9 to 3 or 8 to 4 or whatever it is that they're going to school is taken care of for that period of time. And so that what enables all of us to be able to go to work. And so I genuinely feel for her because she cannot work right now because she has nobody to take care of my goddaughter. So we talked a little bit about maybe what some options might be if we could swing it so that Alexa comes here. They aren't being exposed to any other children. Could we low-key expose them to each other and be okay? Just trying to figure out some ways to help each other out. And, I would encourage you, if you have people in your community, in your life, that you can find a way to help them out, that would be amazing. And I would encourage you to do that because we are, it's cliche, we're all in this together, but we really are. The saying, it takes a village to raise a child, has been around for years, and I couldn't do it without help from other people as well. And before that was my mom and dad, they would take care of Peanut for me while I worked or while I slept because I worked night shift. And now Eric stepped up, so huge, and is Nathan's basically his primary caregiver because I work nights, so I'm sleeping during the day, and his dad works, and so Eric's the parent, and he's awesome, and I cannot even express how much I appreciate that, because I know that there's a lot of people who wouldn't want to do it, who wouldn't volunteer to do it, and I just appreciate that he is so willing, and that he loves Nathan so much that he wants to take care of him. So that's kind of where we're at on that. Still kind of waiting for our school district to make a decision, but please know if you are between this rock and a hard place, we are right there with you, and just praying that we're all able to find a solution that is safe and works for everybody. So now we're getting to the part where we're just putting the cards together. Basically, I'm just popping up the little emblems right over where I stamped them with foam tape, and then I am adding the 3 little, what is that? It's an ellipses, the 3 little dots to continue the sentiment. These are the enamel dots, honeybees enamel dots, and I'm just kind of color coordinating them. The first part of the sentiment is a little further away from the bottom part of the sentiment, and so I felt like there needed to be something to kind of guide the eye and fill that in. They were looking a little too plain. You could absolutely use the Nuvo drops for this, or sequins, or you know, just whatever kind of accessory is your go-to. Here I dropped it and then it stuck where I didn't want it to stick, and my nails are a little longer, so I was having a hard time picking them up. I do have a little gem dropper thing, but because these are adhesive, they were not picking them up great. So this is all of them done and complete, and, you know, ready to go for any heroes in my life that I need to send them out to. And that's pretty much it. So once I put the glitter on, that's pretty much it. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. I genuinely appreciate that you take time out of your day to come visit and interact with me. I'm very grateful for that. Yeah, and that's it. So thank you guys so much for joining me, and I will catch you on the next video. Bye.